Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking with Love. Today guys we'll be making yellowtail coconut curry snapper with sides which will be yellow saffron rice with shrimp and steamed cabbage. Here you see we have some provisions to go along with the yellowtail snapper that is going to be prepared to be steamed on top of the stove, for which I have some provisions here, which is some fresh tomatoes, some yam, some carrots, some onions, some green and red pepper, fresh garlic. You also here have some scallion, have a little scotch bonnet, and a little pimento pepper. Here you see I have some fish seasoning and some fresh thyme. And I also will be adding some curry and some coconut milk. And I'll also be adding some spices that you see, some Old Bay, a little Lorry seasoning, a little spice blend. I have a seafood blend as well that have smoked paprika and other ingredients which will be in the description box, and some black pepper. So yellowtail snapper is similar to red snapper because of its light and but has a firm but flaky meat. Its flavor is also similar to like a swordfish or a grouper. This fish is commonly found in the Atlantic water, most common in Florida and the Caribbean. For decades or even centuries, this fish has been part of the southern diet and has been used in different methods of preparing, as grilling and frying, even baking, poaching, and even steaming. And so that's what we're doing today. We're steaming on top of the stove, and this is one way of preparing this dish. So as you see here, I have like a pound of extra large shrimp that I have already started cleaning, which I have a cup on the side to show how to remove the digestive tract from the back to the front. And you're gonna need like a paring knife so that you can get a good cut on removing that black line that you normally see that need to be removed, which is that digestive tract. And be very careful with your knife, because the paring knife can be sharp and can cut yourself very easily. So be careful, but it's not hard. Just take your time, guys. And for those who are just coming on and just getting to see my videos, please subscribe and feel free to share my videos. So I'm almost finished here with the shrimp, and I'm gonna season these up lightly, and I'm gonna set them to the side because I have some saffron yellow rice that I'm gonna be adding these shrimp to as a side dish, along with some steamed cabbage, which would be great as well. So I have a pan here on the side, which I have it on very low to get ready for my curry that I'm going to heat up first, and then I'm going to add some coconut oil to that, and then once I got that to the degree that I need it to, then I will be ready to put my fish and provisions to the pan. So as we finish seasoning, continue to season this fish, I'm adding some Old Bay. I'm going to be adding some garlic powder and some onion powder to the fish. And I'm also using a dry rub that can be used on all type of fish from my gourmet collection. So guys, as you finish your fish, you're gonna let it sit and rest. Now let's make sure we season our fish really well on low sodium, a lot of spice, but low sodium. You don't want to over season it with the salt. You're not trying to over salt the fish. So I'm gonna take some olive oil and I'm gonna rub as I season the top of my fish with my dry rub, which is my spice blend. and some of the gourmet collection of the Fisherman Choice, which has, like I said, the paprika, dill, and lime, etc., which will be in my description box. This is such a beautiful dish when it comes down to steaming fish. After incorporating the other ingredients of the provisions and that smooth coconut milk that you add to it, that gives it that smooth taste, just like a hint. It's not overwhelming. Thank you guys. If you haven't tried it, I would suggest you try it for the first time. I think you will like it. So she is ready to go into this pan to be ready for steaming. And as she's waiting, I am preparing the pan, heated up with some curry, which the curry and the coconut oil has come to a degree where I can add the provisions and the fish, which I will allow to steam, and I will add in my okra. And I've added in the Scotch bonnet, which you do not cut it unless you want a lot of heat, because this is a real spicy pepper, okay? So I'm gonna put the top over that, and I'm gonna let that come down, simmer down. Have that on really low, okay? I've added my okra now, and I've added just a 3/4 cup of water, just so that I can help break down the vegetables. So what you wanna do is you wanna constantly take the spoon and take the juices that is given off and go over the fish, and the seasoning from the fish is going to go into your broth, which won't be highly seasoned because you already season your fish. So if you need to add, you can always add, but you never can take away. So you're going to allow the seasoning from the fish to season up your broth, and allow your provisions to come out natural on taste, okay? Like your okra, carrot, and it's gonna season up that provision, which is that yam. And you're just gonna let it take its time. And you're gonna let this kind of cook for approximately 35 to 40 minutes while everything has been incorporated in the pot after adding in the coconut milk and letting it simmer down. So it's very important that the provisions cook and tender. The yam, the carrots, the okra. Okay, so this is why we are allowing it to simmer on low, about 35-40 minutes. You can check it to make sure it doesn't overcook, but I think it'll be fine. So as we wait, we're gonna go on to our next dish. Okay. So we're gonna add in some fish seasoning, which has some great flavor. Adds great flavor to this dish. It has bits of pasta inside this packet, but it'll be fine. It's really wouldn't hurt the dish at all. Just mix it up and just wait for it to break down, so you can just kind of turn it over onto the fish, okay? Mix it up well. So here we are, we're going on to our next dish, which is our steamed cabbage, which I have some olive oil, which I'm gonna heat up my pot, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of butter to add some fat to it. I'm not adding any meat to this, and so I'm adding the butter, some fresh garlic, and you can put like 2 cloves if you wish. And I shredded my cabbage thin so that I can cook it into my pot for it to break down easily. Now I add some onions, and I also have some carrots and some red pepper so that it gives a great flavor. Okay, so as we pack this pot down with the cabbage, it's gonna melt down to nothing, guys. So don't be afraid of how much you see, because it's just one head of cabbage, which will melt down to hardly nothing as it cooks down. I'm going to add in some seasoning, which is some black pepper. Okay, I'm going to put a couple shakes in there, All right. And I'm gonna add in some Parmesan sauce. Okay. I haven't put any meat in this, so I'm gonna add just a little salt, bring it up a notch, and to balance it off, I'm gonna add in just a tablespoon of sugar. And we're gonna add in just 1 cube Maggi pollo, which is a large cube in this pack, so you can put 2 of a small cube that's in a normal pack, okay? So put just 1 in the large and 2 of the small, okay? So I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of water, just to help this steam down so that it doesn't scorch. We got it on medium, low. I don't want to, and I'm gonna allow this to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes before I let it turn. This is what the fish has come to, which is a beautiful dish at this moment. And my cabbage, it has wilted down, as you see, because I told you that that head of cabbage looked like it was a pot full, but it's enough, but it makes you think that you have too much. So once that time duration of the 15-20 minutes have passed and you have decided to turn that cabbage, you want to make sure you turn the pot off, and it's going to continue cooking, okay? So here we are, we have our shrimp, and we're going to incorporate that into our rice, which is yellow saffron rice, and we're going to add that shrimp in there. We're going to let that rice and that shrimp cook together. And once that had boiled out, that broth had boiled out of that rice, that is done, okay? So we're gonna keep that on high so that that broth can disintegrate. And once it's done, this is what you have. Your yellowtail coconut curry, snapper, and okra, shrimp, and yellow saffron rice, and steamed cabbage. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe, share my videos.